A Grammy or an Oscar might be the highest honor a celebrity can receive for their work, but in reality, the most validated a male star will actually ever feel is when he earns the title of Sexiest Man Alive by People magazine. It's Marvel's second time in a row as Chris Evans takes up the mantle from Paul Rudd. Today we're finding out how he reacted along with those that came before him. Starting off with the man of the hour, how did he come to being the sexiest man alive? Evans began his acting career in 2000, appearing in television series such as The Opposite Sex, and smaller roles in various films. Although his later roles in a few romantic comedies were charming, they probably weren't as memorable as Captain America because that's what really made him popular all around the world then and to this day. Since the 41-year-old actor has been a favorite for fans of Marvel, and even those who don't keep up with the universe can't deny him, he's just that likable. This year has also been pretty busy for the star with appearances in two major releases, The Gray Man and Lightyear, along with filming 3 others. Despite his ruggedly handsome good looks, Evans is majorly famous due to his humble and polite nature. His love for dogs, specifically his own, has made him popular with the ladies, and we've all seen the edits of him being an absolute gentleman around actresses at award shows and red carpet events. It's no surprise then that he found the title to be a weird form of humble bragging, taking over the honor from his good friend Paul Rudd. Evans also mentioned that he couldn't ever beat Ant-Man in terms of sexiness. He's just being down to earth because if anyone deserves that title, it's him, but he wasn't having any of it. During the photo shoot for his feature issue of People magazine, he expressed that it was tough to be interviewed about this whole thing, and joked that it was just the best fodder for bullying for his friends. But recently, he's been thinking about settling down. Now that he's achieved the highest honor of them all, it's time to settle down. The star said he's been thinking about marriage and kids lately, and that he's ready to take a step back from the life of a Marvel superhero and become a homebody. The location of the shoot is a priority for him now when it comes to work, as he dislikes living out of a suitcase for too long. He's also secure enough now to pick jobs that are convenient for him. Entering his 40s, the actor expressed that he enjoys being at home more and would like to make that his routine, but what he wants the most is to be a father. It seems like the perfect time to start a family for him, and we're hoping he finds that special someone to do it with, but if that happens, he won't be very eager to share it with the entire world. It's just one of those things he wants to keep to his innermost circles, and we respect that. Since he's been spending most of his time in his beloved hometown of Boston, he was asked to share his sexiest quality. According to Evans, his favorite is the accent, but also the weather and sports teams. But by far, the sexiest thing about Boston is the great schools it has. Yes, you heard it. Chris Evans says education is sexy, so you better get that degree now. Next up, Evans gave a nod to his mother after winning. Evans claimed in a video that even though his friends will bully him, his mother would be proud of his win. He knew that it would be something that, quote, she can really brag about, and he was right. His mother wasn't even surprised and only commented that their family would be beside themselves after hearing the news. Despite the actor's embarrassing denials, he's admitted that he'll appreciate the title later on in life when he's old and saggy. But even now, he feels grateful to be bestowed with such an honor. He also mentioned that if middle school age Chris would know that one day he'd be People's Sexiest Man Alive, he'd be pumped. The title would definitely get him to the cool kids table, which he wasn't welcome at as a child. Now, earlier holders have reacted very differently to the news. Rudd, for example, was ready to own it and even wanted to make business cards. Meanwhile, Chris Hemsworth joked that he wouldn't have to do the dishes or change diapers for a year. And Beckham? Well, he claimed that he no longer felt sexy after getting the title. Of course, it was Ryan Reynolds who had the best reaction to the news. The Deadpool star said, quote, "The most difficult part is going to be organically working this title into a conversation with random strangers." Moving on to the previous holders of the title. People magazine has been giving out the honor since 1985, and there have been a total of 31 men who've joined the ranks ever since. A few lucky men have even won twice, rewarding them with an even higher honor, which is endless sex appeal. We'll admit that some winners were just trendy selections who became questionable choices later on, while some were timelessly sexy. Then there are those that are sexy even when they're not in their best, and those that got the title just because they needed the publicity. Let's look back on older picks for People's Sexiest Man Alive with our top 5s. Let's start with Patrick Swayze on number 5. One of the two men on the list who are no longer with us, Patrick Swayze wasn't the most outrightly sexy man. His charm came to to the forefront with his lead roles in romantic films, as he played tough and comedic characters. It's been more than 3 decades, but we still can't get over his charm and smooth moves as Johnny Castle in Dirty Dancing. When you look at it like that, it makes complete sense for him to be amongst the holders of the title. The emotional connections he brought on screen were unforgettable, as well as in the iconic pottery scene from Ghost. It was classic Swayze, passionate, sweet, and an art form primarily done by women, which is what kept him popular with the ladies throughout the decades. Next up, on number 4, we've got Jude Law as 2004's winner. During the late 90s and early 2000s, Jude Law was the guy for a handsome lead role in films. He kept getting the kind of roles that required the actor to be attractive or have some degree of physical perfection, such as the talented Mr. Ripley and Gattaca. Although Ripley featured a provocative bathtub scene, Law credited the start of his career to a bath scene from a stage production of Indiscretions, saying, quote, "Face it, I didn't become famous until I took my clothes off." However, his receding hairline stopped him from joining the ranks of the timeless sexy, and rumors of him sleeping with his children's nanny didn't help his image either. Moving on, another British heartthrob takes the 3rd spot. A man who's only gotten better looking with age, David Beckham surprisingly won the title 2 years after retiring from his football career. He was one of the best players England and Manchester United has ever seen, and to this day is a legend in football history. As a player though, dribbling or tackling weren't his strongest suits. Beckham had an impressively strong right foot and was an expert on dead balls and free kicks. But the title probably couldn't compete with the fact that he got to marry Posh Spice and their beautiful children are carrying on their amazing genes. Coming up, Matthew McConaughey graces number 2. Alright. Matthew McConaughey is on the list for Sexiest Men Alive, what Julianne Moore is to the Oscars. Perpetual contenders who have got a sure shot of winning every year, and both of them also like to take their shirts off on screen. In fact, the Interstellar star deserves special appreciation for making the act an integral part of his brand, but it's probable that it became his brand due to how many films it sold over time. There's something special about McConaughey's laid-back Texas sexiness, and though many have tried to recreate it, they can't do what he does. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but if you disagree with this, you're wrong. It's just that simple. Last but certainly not the least, Michael B. Jordan is number 1. The Black Panther star was the 3rd consecutive colored Sexiest Man Alive, a huge departure from the white world of people's list. If we talk about qualifications, there isn't a role that Jordan can't nail. Whether it's the confused but hilarious bro in That Awkward Moment or the determined boxer in Creed, the 35-year-old will kill it each time. If we're talking about looks, his jacked physique coupled with undeniable charm make him a plain favorite. And that's all for this video, my friends. Are you happy with this year's picks for Sexiest Man Alive? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.